Hello friends, I'm really excited. I have recently received my tower garden in the mail, and today I'm finally got to the point where I'm going to set it up and to get it ready for some planting. It's a perfect solution if you are into vermicomposting and gardening. It's something that combines two, and I'm so excited because I have this worm farm in my garage, which produces castings for my garden. And today I'm gonna start putting together the garden and the worm farm. But I'm going to show you quickly how this new garden looks. So stay with me. And I still need to figure out how I can switch this camera from front to back. I used to do it. Okay. Well, I have to stop the video and restart it again. Evidently, you cannot do in the video mode on the fly to change that. So there it is. It's about 48 inches tall and about 22 inches in diameter. It's kind of very compact, and it allows you to plant about 50 plants, and we'll hopefully will be using all of them. I have some started. Here are some cucumbers, kind of late in the game, but I do have some other seedlings started. I think I still will have plenty of time to benefit. But what's very interesting about this garden, I'm gonna show you inside. You fill this whole cavity around with dirt, or the planting medium, whatever you plant. I actually had to buy from the store several bags of planting mix, potting mix actually. I didn't go with the garden soil, because garden soil comes with a lot of good stuff, but it's a little bit hard to, anyway, not hard, I just didn't like it. So anyway, so here it is. The instruction says that you have to do one little step at a time. I probably will just pour, because I wanted to put together so you all can see how this garden looks, and it has you can rotate. The entire base stays put, but you can rotate, and once it's filled with a potting mix, you can plant in here. On the top you can plant probably a lot of more plants than here in these pockets. You can just plant one plant at a time. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 levels of planting space, if you wish. But what is unique is this middle. In the middle there is this pipe with a bunch of holes, and that's where my worms will go. So I will fill the entire garden with a potting mix, and then once I do that, I will put my worms, not all of them, because this is kind of first time experiment. I don't want to lose my worms, but I will put some of them in, and then of course I probably fill to a certain point, and this where you put scraps, whatever scraps you use to feed your worms, you just put it on top through this pipe, and it goes down to the level where the rest of it is, and the worms will be happy eating it while releasing some good nutrients. And what is unique and actually really great about this solution is that here in the bottom it has a little drawer, a container that collects all the water that goes down with the nutrients, with the worm juice, with worm castings that are being dissolved. It collects right in here, and you can just take this water and reuse it by watering the planter again. I really think this is such a great solution. Back in Buffalo, when we were at St. Peter and Paul in Buffalo, we had a garden, and I was really heavy into the vermicomposting, and we had some wonderful plants. There were some tomato plants that were 7 feet tall and it was just absolutely great. So we don't have much space for gardening purposes, and here in Yonkers, one of the problems that we have is actually the lack of sun. But I will continue this video shortly once I fill up this garden with dirt, and I will begin to transfer my worms into it. I will continue with the video. It may not happen today, it might happen tomorrow, but you will not know it because we will have all the video together. So stay tuned, and I will be right back. Putting together this vertical garden was very easy. All I needed 5 bags of garden soil, following the instruction, stacking them up, and I actually ended up planting first cucumbers in the very lowest row of this garden. Now that you had seen my photos on Facebook, and I will make sure that they precede this portion of the video of how I set this tower garden up. You can see it's filled with the dirt. We have first residents, some cucumbers. I actually have like 13 plants of cucumbers. This entire thing spins. You can spin it depending to where the sun is. I already showed you there is a compartment that collects the water, but today I'm gonna do I'm going to introduce the worms into their new dwelling. The middle pipe here, which is about 5 inches, it's perforated, and once I put the worms inside, they will be free to roam around. And as it happens to be, I have a worm farm going, which was in my garage for quite some time, and I just want you to show that. Just if you don't like this kind of stuff, perhaps look away, but I just want you to show how my worms are doing. They're eating ferociously. These kind of worms are called red wigglers. Back in Buffalo, I used to have the the kind of worm called the European crawler. They were much thicker. They were perhaps a little bit more suitable for fishing, but these are actually would be great for fishing. So if you are a fisherman and looking for worms, you can stop by and say hello. So I have three trays, top one, middle one, and the bottom one. Top one has the freshest food for them to eat, and they consume about half of their weight a day. So if you have a pound of worms, you can give them half a pound of food, and they will eat it at the end of the day. So I'll probably talk a little bit more about worms themselves later, but I'm going to dig into the very bottom tray because I will be moving this tray. It's a little bit smelly, but because it's rotting food, but it's a good stuff. My plants will be happy. So I will keep the top one at the very last if I fit it all, but I will use the bottom one, which was most consumed. There's still some food in there that wasn't quite consumed, and I will start. Actually, maybe I should do the middle one. Well, the middle one has food too. All right, well, I'll start with the middle one, and I'll start transferring these worms. The middle one doesn't have too many worms, has some, but most of them are eating on the top one because that's the freshest food, or where's the freshest food is. But I'm gonna just start moving them, so enjoy the show. I probably will and I need to find what I'm gonna do this with. Cut. So I'm moving these worms. I'll probably speed it up anyway for them, you know, because it's gonna be a long video. I shouldn't have fed that very bottom one. Was perhaps a mistake, but this is a good stuff. If once so this is basically all of this is processed, and once it begins to release with the water into the ground, into the nutrients, the plants are gonna explode. And one of the reasons that I wanted this garden so badly was because I felt almost like a waste of effort sometimes. Well, especially here because we didn't have big garden, so we didn't have much use of these worms. Where in Buffalo, I used to do the compost tea using the worm casting, and here that tea will be naturally kind of formed, and in the down there's a compartment where all of those juices will be accumulating. And if you're just starting vermicomposting, worms can eat a lot of different stuff. They eat vegetables. You have scraps after, you know, preparing a meal. There's a piece of cabbage. They don't like high acidity food because that kind of kills them. So actually the proper way to maintain your worm bin, is to feed them a balanced nutrition with a lot of fiber. They eat a lot of paper, shredded paper, they eat it up. I recently discovered that the egg carton that you buy, not the plastic one, but the one that is paper, they eat that up really quickly. So this is a lot, and I haven't filled even halfway. I don't think it's a good idea to overfill this middle pipe, but you can see once in a while there's a worm or two going in, and there's in this bottom one, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of eggs that will hatch. And the other part is that that middle pipe is perforated and has has allows the worms to travel all around this garden. And they will be, my sister yesterday when I was talking to her about this garden, we were laughing, this is gonna be my mom's American garden, but when I told her what I'm putting in the middle, she was quite amazed, and she asked, are they gonna eat the roots of the plants? And the answer to that question is absolutely not, because composting worms, they go after food that is half rotten, and if you have healthy plants, they will avoid the roots of the plant. It's actually good. The good indication of the healthy soil always is the presence of good amount of worms in the soil. So I actually, one of the stray had was enough to fill this pipe all the way, so I'm kind of a little bit worried, so it doesn't, so I still have room. I'm sure it's gonna, once the water washes, all the nutrients and the castings are dissolved in the water, this whole, it's up, probably up to this level, just one tray of the worm castings with the worms, and some of it is still food to be processed. So they will continue to eat that food, but I'm going to leave about 12 inches so I can, from this point on, I can just feed them from the top by giving them all, you know, like banana peels and some other scraps that we produce cooking, you know, peeling potatoes. So, and they love this stuff. They love that stuff. All right, one tray is so just a little bit of a word of these trays. They are perforated, so the worms can travel up and down the up and down of the worm factory, as you wish. I'm gonna finish just rearranging these my worm farm, because I have a little bit of an idea how to improve. I will still have a worm farm going. If you are interested in any of this stuff, I will have affiliate links in the description of this video, and if you happen to buy using our affiliate links, we'll have a little bit of reward from the company. They will give us a small commission for referring to them, but we're gonna stop recording now so I can finish setting up, resetting up my worm farm. Okay, I finished transferring the worms into this new tower garden. In the middle, in this pipe, it's all filled with worm castings and some live worms. They will continue to eat. Once in a while we'll just drop a little more food in it. I like the idea so far because it kind of eliminates the feeding process. I used to make a tea from worm casting, but one of the problems that I see with this particular model is that if you follow the instruction, they recommend to plant the tomatoes on the very top tier. So if you plant tomatoes here, they're gonna grow high. So you would need, my wife will need a ladder to to pick them eventually. But we'll be trying to fill in all the spots that are free. They should host this tower garden should host about 50 plants, and if all goes well, maybe I'll get another one. But this is perfect solution for the urban gardening, because most of the time you are struggling to find space, and in this little amount of space you can literally grow 50 plants. So please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumb up, and I'm not quite sure, I probably will be posting this video to all of our channels until such a time as I combine few channels and rebrand the Orthodox Christian Cooking Show, because as you can see, we are expanding into other topics on the channel, not just cooking. We will still do cooking, but we will be doing some other stuff as well. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back for the updates on this garden as we move through the summer.